Hi there guys, welcome back to another video on the Retro Brown Solo Kanto Randomiser Challenge. I can't remember which way I say this. Today we've got Gyarados, the big beast that comes from Magikarp's evolution. And I tell you what guys, this is going to be an absolutely fantastic run. Everyone knows how good Gyarados is. I mean, look at those base stats, total of 540, water flying type, 125 attack, 95 speed, 81 speed, I've just said speed twice there, no, 95 HP, 80 special, 79 defense. This thing is an absolute demon. And I'm going to show you here why my video backs up that statement. Today our rival is going to be one of my newest subscribers, a guy called Daniel Pryor. Thanks for subscribing, mate. Always love the support, and let's get into the video. Hope you enjoy this. So we've changed, you might be wondering why I'm going to put Blastoise as my final Pokemon. Pretty much because Gyarados has got a pretty good matchup against all of the Pokemon. Like water type moves, super effective against Charizard, thunder type moves like Thunderbolt and Thunder, super effective against Squirtle, and of course you've got ice attacks which are going to be super effective against the Venusaur. Which also means that it doesn't really matter which starter we picked. I just decided to choose Squirtle because I even chose Squirtle as the final Pokemon in a while. And you'll see in that first battle there, we start off with the move Dragon Rage, and that is going to be such a powerful move in this early game. As you can see here, we went straight to Brock at level 6, and we took out both his Pokemon without losing any HP. This is going to be a quick run because we started off with Dragon Rage, which does 40 base power every single time. But there is going to be a point in this run where Dragon Rage starts losing its potency. And as you can see, we're only in Mount Moon and already it's not one-shotting most Pokemon. Takes the Voltorb out in one and the Coffin, but it didn't take out that Voltorb in one, which is... It's starting to get a little worrying, but it's still going to be a very powerful move for the time being. And its starting moveset is just fantastic anyway. We get Hydro Pump, we get Leer, we get Bite, we get Dragon Rage. Dragon Rage in itself is just going to be the move that gets us through all these battles so quickly. I am at minimum battles already at Misty. And the Starmie's going to go down with 2 Dragon Rages. So we're at level 16, and now we've only got the rival on Nugget Bridge to go before we can head off to Vermilion. But we also pick up Bubble Beam from Misty, which is going to be our main water type move moving forward. I mean, I don't really need Leer. Bite's a decent move just for the time being. Hydro Pump will keep for the majority of the run, but until Dragon Rage starts losing its potency, we don't really need to add any new moves to the roster. And the rival on Nugget Bridge as well, he is just a joke with Gyarados. Dragon Rage is just tearing through his team. We didn't even heal from the Misty fight, and we're just powering through. Just keep on powering and powering through. So that brings us over to Vermilion next, and the rival on there is going to be no different to the previous battle you've just seen. It's going to be easy, and what we're really hoping for is to get through this battle as quick as possible. We've picked up Body Slam as well, my favourite Gen 1 move, much more powerful than Bite, so we don't need Bite anymore. It's going to take out most Pokemon in one hit because of its insane attack stat. We even outspeed the Kadabra and the Wartortle. Will Body Slam be enough to take it out in one? Well, to be fair, it was probably safer to go for Dragon Rage anyway. And there we go, that's a rival on the SS unbeaten as well. We haven't lost a single fight yet, and it'll be a while before we actually do. Or so you'd think. We do have a Surge up next. If we get hit by one Thunderbolt, which we are quad weak to, we might not survive an attack. We get hit by Sonic Boom, Dragon Rage takes out Voltorb in 2 hits. Pikachu's very defensively weak, so Body Slam's the better player here, takes it out in 1. And last up's the Raichu. Again, it doesn't have the greatest defenses, but it does use an X speed. So, yeah, that's how powerful electric type attacks are on us. And we're going to have to hope we can avoid them for the majority of this run. So it didn't matter either way whether I use Body Slam or Dragon Rage. Both of them, it's going to be a 2-shot on the Voltorb. Pikachu, of course we know Body Slam's going to take it out in 1. But we really need to paralyze this Raichu with a Oh, Thunder Shock does big damage, and we get the paralysis. That is the way you get past the Raichu. We probably could have came back to Surge later on. He's not mandatory to get through Rock Tunnel. But we managed to get through pretty quickly, and we can teach Thunderbolt to even diversify more our move pool. So we don't need Leer anymore. Let's get rid of that. We've got Hydro Pump, we've got Thunderbolt, we've got Bubble Beam, and we've got Body Slam. So that brings us over to Celadon. There was literally no worries going through Rock Tunnel at all. We outsped, we outmatched every single Pokemon with all the moves that we had. So moving on to Giovanni, we're level 29 here. We're actually matching the level of his Pokemon. We went in at 18 HP, we came out with 18 HP. This is how good Gyarados is on a solo run. And I was at a bit of a crossroads of where to go next here. I could go over to Erica, which, to be fair, we don't actually have a bad type match. Because of that secondary flying typing, we actually don't have a super effective move that can hit us. Apart from Sleep. Sleep Powder is not going to be helpful. Neither is going to be Razor Leaf. And if I don't wake up here, yeah, 3 Razor Leafs is enough to take us down. That's very disappointing. But as long as we don't get put to sleep, I think we've got a good chance of beating Erica at this level. I could go pick up Ice Beam, which is super effective, but I'm going to try Dragon Rage. Dragon Rage is not... This is where Dragon Rage is starting to fall off now. It's not even doing half damage on that Victory Bell. And we move up to level 30 after getting through quite luckily there. It only used 1 Razor Leaf. Tangler is never a problem, but I'm surprised it took 3 hits to take it down with Body Slam. Considering how high our attack stat is, yeah, that's very, very worrying. I might have to go and invest in some proteins. We take down the Vileplume in 2, and that is Erica done. That's 4 badges, guys, and we've only lost once to Lieutenant Surge. And this is looking really, really good. Now, before we can progress, we have to go over to Lavender and do the quest over there. We have now taught Ice Beam, and we've got a pretty solid move set. We've got coverage for pretty much all the things we need in the late game, minus needing Psychic. We can't learn Earthquake, annoyingly, but we're a water Pokemon that also flies. Why would we need why would it logically need Earthquake? But then again, why would we logically need Fire Blast as well? That is also one of the moves we can learn. But I might keep it later on. You never know. We might need it at some point. So going from Lavender, I actually went straight over to Silphcore. So we've just beaten the rival there in Lavender, and we're going against him again straight away. We're 3 levels below his Pidgeot, and we're only doing half damage with Ice Beam. But we are tanking his attacks quite well. Growlithe is going to go down to a Hydro Pump. Easy fight, easy fight. And the next up is Execute. This is why we wanted Ice Beam now, because we didn't really have a good answer for Execute, apart from maybe Body Slam. Next up is Alakazam. It's defensively very weak. It thankfully goes for recovery. If we've been hit by Psychic or Confusion, well, we do get hit by Confusion, but thankfully it doesn't do too much damage. Next up is the Blastoise, and this is where the bulkiness of Blastoise plays into effect. It is a very bulky Pokemon, but we take it down, not much problem whatsoever. We're 5 levels below that Blastoise, and we still get through first time. Gyarados is an absolute unit. Oh, considering we've just done that Metapod run, I needed a run like this. I needed a very good, high-performing run. And it's only going to get better and better from here. I don't even think I'm going to need the rare candies later on to the Elite Four. We've got such a good moveset, we've got such good stats. We've got a fantastic typing as well with Water Flying. And there's not, to my knowledge, I don't think there's any Pokemon in the Elite Four that actually use electric type moves. Maybe the Dragonites, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I don't think there's any Pokemon in the Elite Four that actually know an electric type move. And we beat Giovanni, no problem whatsoever. There was no point me commentating over that because I knew I was going to win that one. He's got such a bad type matchup towards us. And while we're in Saffron, we might as well go against Sabrina. We don't outspeed the Kadabra, we are a level below it, and we take big damage from the side beam, so this is actually not looking good already. We've still got 3 Pokemon left to beat. We do get a paralysis on the Mr. Mime. The Venomoth, we're going to go for Body Slam. It's going to take 2 hits, but we do get paralyzed and Psybeam hits. So we're paralysed and 50 HP for the Alakazam. We might have our second reset here. But the Alakazam strangely doesn't use an attacking move. It used Recover and then Reflect. But because of our good speed, we actually get a crit. And Sabrina becomes a first time victory, which, considering we started off that fight really badly, I was not expecting that. So next up we have Koga. Koga is the Poison type gym leader, gym badge number 5. And it's such a whitewash. Every single fight with Gyarados, it's such a whitewash. We haven't lost since Surge. And it doesn't look like we're going to lose anytime soon either. Hydro Pump is tearing through his poison Pokemon. And Weezing comes out last. We've run out of Hydro Pump, so we're going to have to go with Body Slam. He uses Self-Destruct. Oh. Well, that's annoying. Weezing is not a fast Pokemon, and yet it got a critical hit. I need to look at the percentage chance on that, because critical hits in Gen 1 are based off your speed. Higher your speed, the more chance you've got of critting. So the likes of Cypher or Persian, I think they can crit 1 in 5 times. It's like a 20% crit chance. This time, however, we get better luck. We paralyse the Weezing. We do take big damage from the Sludge, and we're poisoned. And I've put it into Ice Beam range. That Weezing was a lot tougher than I thought it was going to be. So we've only lost twice in this entire run. One to Surge and now one to Koga. Surge, I completely understood that I might lose there. But Koga, I did not imagine that I would actually lose against him. Blaine, however, is completely the other side of the story. We're going to just tear through his team with Hydro Pump. The fact that we start off with this 120 power move is insane. It's like... I haven't done a Mewtwo run yet, but honestly, I think that Gyarados is like on a Mewtwo level from other videos that I've seen around the internet. Most people I've seen with Mewtwo, they can do theirs in just under 3 hours, which is around about the time I did my Zapdos video in. I can tell you right now, Gyarados is already looking a lot better than that. So, unless I've just mastered Solo Run in Gen 1, I might get a very good overall time for this Gyarados. I don't think I'm on the level of like world records with like how people go around with Nidoking or Blastoise. I've not practiced as much as those guys. Those guys are insane. I'm pretty sure the world record is like 1 hour and 31 in-game minutes or something like that they can be able to complete the game in. That's insane. That's like half of my best runs. They've been able to complete the game in. And I'm doing it in average around about 3 to 4 hours time of in-game time. So I realised that you actually can't dig out of Giovanni's gym. We need to move on to the Elite Four now. We've got all the badges. And we've got one last challenge for the Elite Four, and that's the rival. So he starts off with Pidgeot, the one without Sand Attack now. And Ice Beam is going to be the main move we use here. If I can get that freeze chance, it just makes... I love it when we get freezes. I'd rather freeze a Pokemon than paralyze it. Rhyhorn, again, it's going to be weak to Ice Beam. Could be weak to... It'll be weak to Hydro Pump as well, but I need to save them for the later Pokemon. Growlithe as well goes down to Hydro Pump. Execute, we're going to use Ice Beam here. And... yeesh. We don't take it out in one and we're paralysed now. Okay, this might not end up good. What is with the Alakazam not going for its strongest move? It keeps going for Reflect pretty much every time. I think this might be a loss here unless we get a critical hit. Wow. We managed to beat that Alakazam. Why didn't he use an attacking move again? Okay, Bite is not going to do that much damage. He won't use a water move on me though because we're a water type. And 2 Thunderbolt to take him out. Okay, I didn't think we were actually going to beat that one. And we are only level 44 going into this. And now we're at the Elite Four. We might have one of our lowest leveled Pokemon beating the Elite Four here. So let's get straight into it. Level 44. I'm going to start... Oh, that was a misclick. I meant to go for Thunderbolt. But we take out the Dugong. We haven't lost any HP. And Annoyingly, we have taken attack drops with Growl, but considering most of our moves are special, it doesn't matter too much. It's only if we need to use Body Slam. Slowbro thankfully doesn't go for Amnesia, and we're at level 45 now. Jinx, yeah, this is kind of why we needed the Growls. If we get frozen here by this Jinx, we're going to have a problem. So we need the Paralysis. Her Body Slam does alright damage, to be fair. And we're at 48 HP going into this Lapras, so this is not looking too good. We need 3 Thunderbolts to be able to beat her, and we hit ourselves in Confusion. We're not confused anymore, come on. No. Right. Maybe if we hadn't hit ourselves in Confusion, we could have survived that. We're going to have to see in this new attempt. This is only the 3rd time we've lost in this entire run. So let's see how we do against the Dugong. It's going to do over half damage. We're level 51 going into this. I decided to cave and use my rare candies. Might as well give ourselves a bit more bulk. We're still at a very low level here, to be fair. And Thunderbolt's going to take Cloyster down in 2. Slowbro is going to be a 2-hit KO still. So adding those rare candies on, it hasn't really done too much else apart from actually giving us more HP. In terms of the output we've got, Body Slam, yeah, it's doing more damage, but we weren't hit by the Growls. We do get confused again, and we hit ourselves with Confusion. Please don't Body Slam us. I don't know if we'll be able to take it. We get a critical and we move through. So that is looking really good. And you might be wondering why I've got a fantastic attack. Why am I not learning Hyper Beam? I can't justify it over any of the other moves in my pool. I just can't. Thunderbolt is fantastic. Ice Beam is fantastic. I probably could have got rid of it for Body Slam, but no, Body Slam is a really good move. And Hydro Pump as well, we've got the stab bonus on that. It makes no sense to put Hyper Beam on our move roster. And think about it as well, if we don't take out a Pokemon in one, then we've got another turn to wait before recharging, so I don't think it's worth it to put Hyper Beam on our move roster. Bruno is not going to be a problem whatsoever. We have had a little bit of problem with his first couple there. The Machamp comes out, Hydro Pump's going to be the best player here, and it takes it out in 1. So there's Bruno down in 1, Lorelei is being beaten on the 2nd attempt. Agatha is going to be a different story. We don't have a super effective move against her. Hydro Pump probably will be our best shout, but her Pokemon has high special. So what I'm actually hoping for is not to get put to sleep, of course, but it was actually for that switch. So if she had done that switch to start off with, we would be doing very well right now. Thankfully, the Golbat does use Haze, which resets everything. Whatever your status effect is, whatever your stat changes are, it replaces everything. It's a fantastic move in competitive. And after we've got past those first couple of Pokemon, Haunter is going to go down after 2 Hydro Pumps. Flipping heck. Okay, Arbok. Body Slam's going to be the better player here. It's going to take 2 hit. It's fully paralysed. And it was a range, so it's going to be a free hit. We got 95 HP for this last Gengar. And we've been poisoned. Come on, one more Hydro Pump. Please. Gyarados, you pull through for us, buddy. Oh, get in. That's a first time victory against Agatha. And that just leaves Lance and then Daniel Pryor as our champion. So let's see how we do against it. Well, his first Pokemon is a Gyarados as well. This is why we brought Thunderbolt along. It is just for the Gyarados. Lance, you don't know how to work your Pokemon. We're at level 54 here. This is definitely one of the lowest levels we've been able to do this at. Ice Beam does not take him out in 1. It's not even a range. That's worrying. That is worrying. Okay, so we don't... Yeah, it's definitely not a range. We're not going to be able to take out this Dragonair in 2. In 1 Ice Beam, I mean. But I need to save that PP a little bit. So, Aerodactyl, again, it's quad weak to ice as far as I'm aware. And it still doesn't take it out. We're only 6 levels below. We should be doing a lot more damage than this. Ice Beam is a one-shot on the Dragonite. But that is definitely quad weak to ice. It's Flying and Dragon. But we've beaten Lance first try. There's only Lorelei that we struggled with. We've now just got the champion to contend with. Daniel Pryor, let's see how you do against the Gyarados. And the first Pokemon that's coming out is going to be that Pidgeot. And of course we're going to go for the Ice Beam. We want that freeze chance. We don't get it. If he uses Ice Beam on us, and thankfully we don't get frozen in return, which has happened before. It's very annoying when it happens, but it has happened to me. And Psybeam does so much damage. We get the paralysis though. This could still go our way with 50 HP left. I'm going to use Ice Beam against the Rhydon. It's a one-shot. Arcanine's next. Hydro Pump misses, but we get hit by Aaliyah. That badge boost might help us there. And it's a one-shot on the Arcanine. Executor's out next. We need to use Ice Beam. It's not a one-shot. It doesn't even do half. What the... Yes, we get the freeze though. I've been waiting for that for the entire run. That was the first freeze we got. So, we've just got the Blastoise. If it uses anything but Bite... no, we got critted. Oh, man. You are kidding me. Literally one more turn we'd have won. That's so annoying. Well, I've got to be honest. The strategy is sound. This is the strategy we need to go with. We thankfully paralyzed that Alakazam again. Ice Beam is going to take out the Rhydon in 2? I'm so confused on these damage ranges right now. But we've got the goal in sight. We need to beat Executor. Please don't put us to sleep. Barrage is fine. Barrage is fine. Unless it hits 4 or 5 times. Come on, Ice Beam. Let's get a freeze. We don't get the freeze, but one more Ice Beam should take it out. And it is. So we're finally back to that Blastoise. 2 Thunderbolts should be more than enough. As long as we don't get critted by anything, we should be fine. Yes, I've just looked at the damage range there. If we hadn't been critted on that last attempt, we'd have beaten Blastoise on the next turn. But there we go. Gyarados has absolutely decimated the Kanto region and become the Pokemon League champion at a low level. And I'll show you right now what time we finished that at. So we finished this whole run. Well, I have to tell you in a second once we get past this bit of dialogue. Level 56, very low level. At 2 hours and 46 minutes, we destroyed our Zapdos time by about 13 minutes. That's insane. That's the quickest run we have done on this channel to date. And you can probably tell from me, from my voice, I am very psyched about this video. I think it went fantastic. I am hopped up on coffee again. And I'm so excited to see what the next run's going to be. So, if you're new to the channel or you haven't watched a video in a while, we now spin the wheel at the end of the current video so you know what's coming next week and you get yourself excited for it. So let's see what we can get on the wheel this time round. There's a lot of water Pokemon still to do in Kanto. It's probably, apart from Poison or Normal, it's probably one of the most abundant types in Kanto. And you know what, I'm feeling a challenge, so I think we need a first stage evolution this time because that was so quick, that was so easy. We need a first stage evolution. Am I going to get it? First spin the wheel here. First up's Ponyta. We've done the Rapidash video quite recently, and I didn't enjoy it. So let's see what we get second. Poliwag. I've been waiting for one of Poliwag's lines to come up. Ooh, what's third? What's third? Ninetales. That came up recently on the wheel as well. But you know what? I think I'm going to go for that Poliwag. Because I've been waiting for one of Poliwag's lines to come up recently. I think it's going to be a very good run. So if you've got to this point into the video, please like and subscribe. You know, it really helps out the channel, you legends. And of course, we'll see you next time for the solo Poliwag run on the Retro Brown channel. Take care, guys.